Hey, welcome to Immortal Realm. Let's start our list. On number 10, we have Once Again Idol. Seo Hyunwoo is a member of the idol group that is about to debut. On the day of their profile shoot, an accident left a hideous scar on one side of his face, causing his dream of debuting to collapse. Fortunately, he became an idol trainer with the recommendation of his manager, but he still spent his shabby days in sorrow. One day, he got on a plane with the idol group in charge of going abroad, but an unexpected incident caused the plane to crash. But the next moment, our main character opens his eyes. You already know. Yes, the main character realizes that he is back to the time when he was just 19 years old, when he was preparing to join the debut team. Seo Hyunwoo, an idol who looks like a 19-year-old boy but has been strengthened by his experience as a trainer before coming back. This is the story of his growth to become an idol once again. Number 9 on our list is Leveling with the Gods. I think I have mentioned this manhwa in some of my previous videos and most of you might have already read it. But there are some people who might have not read it. So for them, let me tell you what this manhwa is. It is a new manhwa and it is very interesting. Gods from another world, the outer gods, despair that reaches the skies, gloom trapped in a swamp, one who couldn't be born, foolish calamity. Normal people lost their lives simply by looking at them. Such beings were tearing the world apart. After years of fighting, the final survivors came to a conclusion. An inner god cannot beat an outer god. In that moment, Kronos, a divine being that could manipulate time, sacrificed himself and turned back the clock movement. The person chosen by all the gods to return to the past, the last human to climb the tower, yet the one who managed to fight with the gods to the end. Kim Yoo-won, and he is our protagonist. He says an inner god cannot beat an outer. Even if that's the case, I will still win in the end. This manhwa is the story of how our main character gathers his comrades that fought with him until the end and leads the fight against the outer gods to victory. Number 8 on our list is The Return of the Crazy Demon. It is also a new manhwa with an awesome art. Yi Zaha, the crazy demon who is crazy for martial arts, while he was running away after stealing the heavenly pearl of the demonic cult leader, he fell off a cliff. After thinking that everything was over, he opened his eyes to see that he had returned back to when he was just a waiter, and he is being beaten up for something that he didn't do. The crazy demon who returned to the beginning of his days as a waiter. Will he go crazy again or will he drive his enemies crazy? The manhwa is new and that is why currently we only have 14 chapters. But I think you should bookmark this manhwa because sooner or later we are going to have many more chapters. Number 7 on our list is The God of Pro Wrestling. This manhwa is for those guys who love WWE, wrestling or who love marketing because this manhwa is more focused on the business gimmicks side with some action. Jun-ho Kim, he loved pro wrestling more than anyone, but he couldn't escape the racial standards. After his meaningless retirement, while continuing as a construction worker, he got caught up in an unexpected incident, and after that, he dies. But the next moment he opens his eyes, he returns to the day before the WWF champion entrance exam. This time, he won't end as a villain King Fury with a 0.7 success rate. He returned to his 20s body with all the knowledge he has worked so hard for and information about the future. He will not repeat his history of being an expert at losing. He will rewrite the history of pro wrestling together with a wrestler that will take over the era in the future to ultimately become the god of pro wrestling, an icon of the era. Number 6 on our list is Judge Lee Han-young. This manhwa is pretty similar to Again My Life. Judge Lee, who believed justice could be realized in the courtroom, did not follow the orders of his superiors and sentenced the conglomerate to life in prison before being killed. But Is it because of the shenanigans he heard as a child? With all his memories, he gets one more chance to live again and correct all his mistakes. The world needs him. Lee, the heretic of the judiciary, who knows only justice. Well, if you ask me which one is much better, Again My Life or Judge Lee Han Young, then I would say Again My Life is much better than this one. I could have recommended Again My Life in this list, but I have already mentioned it many times in my videos. Number 5 on our list is Return of the Manhwa Sect. Well, if you are a fan of Murim Manhwas, then this one is the perfect choice for you. Chun Myung, who was the 13th disciple of the Manhwa sect and also known as one of the 3 great swordsmen, Plum Blossom Sword Saint, defeated Chunma, who has brought destruction and disarray onto the world. After the battle, he breathes his last breath on top of the headquarter mountain of the heavenly demon sect. That is when our story starts. He is reborn after 100 years in the body of a child. But he is not reborn in some well-to-do family. Instead, he is reborn as a beggar. The most shocking thing that he realized is that after 100 years, Manhwa sect has fallen. He couldn't believe it, and that is when his journey starts. His journey to once again restore Manhwa sect to its former glory. Number 4 on our list is The Game That I Came From. If you max out your level in game, you can get heaven-defying powers in real life. Player Linksy finally obtained this reward through his hard work but ended up receiving the most useless skills. Just as he was mourning his luck, a mysterious power brought him back to 3 years in the past. With the experiences and memories of his previous life, how many different wonderful things can he bring to his new life? When you read all these reincarnation Korean manhwas, you realize that their starting is pretty much cliché. But after reading a few more chapters, you comprehend something, and that is these manhwas are very much unique and have an interesting plot and storyline. Number 3 on our list is Master of Gu. This is the story of a villain. What I mean by villain is a real villain. This is the story of Fang Yuan, who was reborn 500 years into the past with the spring-autumn cicada. He painstakingly refined. With his proud wisdom, battle and life experiences, he seeks to overcome his foes with skill and wit. The art is decent, but the most interesting thing is the main character. You might have never seen this kind of main character. The protagonist is cold, brutal, merciless, etc. This Chinese manhwa was banned. Some people say that it was banned due to too much gore in it. Some say that it was due to some government policies of China, while some say that the author just abandoned it. Well, I don't know why the manhwa was banned, but I certainly know that the novel is completed. The novel was really good. Number 2 on our list is This Is the Law. This is the story of the genius lawyer No Young-jin's justice execution. No Young-jin, valedictorian of his university, perfect score on the bar exam and even a 95% case win rate. No Young-jin was a successful lawyer. While he was fighting against evil, higher powers to make South Korea a just and fair land, he was ruthlessly murdered by National Intelligence Service agents. He shouldn't have died. No Young-jin was a man sent by Emperor Yomra to fix corruption on earth. However, after ending up in hell without having been able to achieve anything, Emperor Yomra returns No Young-jin back in time. I should at least give him power so he can protect himself. What is this power given to him by Emperor Yomra? Will No Young-jin be able to change his future as well as the future of South Korea? On number 1, we have our one and only, the best Murim martial arts manhwa, that is Volcanic Age. This manhwa is my personal favorite. Ju Seo-cheon, a man who survives the age of war through sheer luck and becomes the elder of the Washan faction, only to live a life full of regrets and doubts. As he lies on his deathbed waiting for the inevitable, he is returned to the past. Each and every manhwa has its unique storyline, has its unique way of representing the events, but this manhwa is so unpredictable. It is not your usual cliche manhwa, where the main character just becomes like God in 2 or 3 chapters. Instead, here everything is shown clearly how our main character trains to become overpowered, how he uses his knowledge of previous life to do all those things that were impossible in his previous life. That's all for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel for more videos on manhwas. We'll meet in the next video. Have a very beautiful day.